It's Martin Luther King's Day in the United States today, as no slowing down in murders for 2024 in Jamaica. FIFA is investigating Jamaica's Football Federation as courts grant postponement of election. This morning, New York temperature is 32 degrees, while Fort Lauderdale it's 74, and in Kingston, Jamaica, it's 77. This is Undiluted News. Mikey Bones reporting. Prime Minister Andrew Holness wants conflict resolution to be included in the school curriculum. Mr. Holness told pupils at Manchester High School on Friday that teaching conflict resolution and management skills in school will help the government drive to reduce violent confrontations. He also stated that it is critical to ensure that what is taught at school is reinforced at home. In light of this, he promised that schools and the National Parenting Support Commission would work together more closely. Meanwhile, 4 men were arrested after they were caught attempting to break into a jewelry store in Mandeville, Manchester on Sunday morning. Police sources said 2 of the men are from Rocky Hill in St. Elizabeth, one is from Kingston 14 address, and the other from Kemp Hill in Clarendon. The youngest is 23 and the oldest is 33. A car and several house and shop breaking implements were seized to include crowbar, chisel, hammer, among other equipments. Police said about 4 a.m. in the morning, a team was on patrol when the men were seen attempting to break into the jewelry store, which is located at Mandeville Plaza. The men bore a hole in the wall in an attempt to gain entry to the store. They were taken into custody. Further checks reveal that the men rented the motor car from its owner in Lacovia in St. Elizabeth. The police have now launched a manhunt for a gunman who reportedly fired a shot at lawmen on Main Street in Highgate in St. Mary on Friday. No one was injured during the confrontation, police said. But reports indicated that around 12:05 p.m., a team of police officers acting on information about a male in possession of an illegal firearm went to the Highgate market where the suspicious male was seen. And it was reported that an approach of the police at the rear of the market, the man pulled a handgun from a bag and fired one shot at 2 members of the police team. He then fled and made his escape. The police said the members of the team were unable to discharge their weapon based on the area as there was lots of people there. The body of a man was found by a farmer in Bryant's Land district in Clarendon Saturday morning. The dead man has been identified as 48-year-old Wilbert Sitteram, otherwise called Buju, a resident of the district. And reports are that about 7 a.m., a resident was on his way to tend to his animals when he stumbled upon the body of the deceased and notified the police. The body was found lying face down and had what appeared to be a wound to the right side of the neck, the police said. The body was positively identified at the scene and transported to the Maypen Hospital, where it was pronounced dead by doctors on duty and was later removed to the morgue. The police have identified the body of a man who was found dead in Liberty Hall in Lime Hall in St. Anne on Friday evening, and he's 28-year-old Ramaria Cross of Clamstead Lime Hall in the parish. Reports from the St. Anne's Bay Police are that about 9:30, residents heard explosions and summoned the police. On arrival of the lawmen, Cross was seen lying on the steps of an unfinished building with gunshot wounds to the head, shoulder, and his back, and he was taken to hospital where he was pronounced dead. A St. Anne man was stabbed to death at his home on Saturday. Dead is Peter James, otherwise called Copper of Main Street, Ocherius in the parish. Reports are that sometime after 7 a.m., James and another man got into an argument when a stone was used to hit the other man to the head, causing a wound. A knife was brought into play and James was reportedly stabbed in his chest. The police were summoned and both men were taken to hospital where James succumbed to his injuries and the other man treated and released into police custody. The identity of the other man is being withheld pending further investigations. And this incident pushed the number of people killed in St. Anne since the start of the year to at least 7. And you have noticed by now that there's no slowing down of murders in 2024. A barber was shot dead while trimming a man at his barber shop in White River District in Buff Bay, Portland on Friday night. The dead man has been identified as 44-year-old Tyson Delano Bowen of a White River District address. It is said at around 7:50 p.m., Bowen, who was in the shop trimming a man, when a gunman entered and shot the barber several times in the left side of his neck, the gunman then fled. Residents alerted the police who went to the location and rushed Bowen to the Anata Bay Hospital, where doctors pronounced him dead. The scene was processed and a manhunt has now been launched for the gunman. Police have not yet given a motive for that gun attack. Police are now probing a double murder after 2 men were shot dead on the Tucker Main Road in St. James on Friday night. The dead men have been identified as 32-year-old Jerome Evans, otherwise called Ricky, and 37-year-old Jerome Longman, otherwise called Q37. Both men were from retirement in the parish. Reports are that about 10:15, residents heard a barrage of explosions, saw Evans' body, and alerted the police. Lawmen rushed to the scene and saw Evans in the middle of the road beside a motorbike suffering from what appeared to be gunshot wounds to the head and upper body. The area was cordoned off and a search of the area was conducted. And during the search, Longman's body was discovered lying in bushes about 26 feet from that of Evans, the police said. Longman's body had what appeared to be gunshot wounds to his abdomen and left foot. Police took both men to the Cornwall Regional Hospital, where they were pronounced dead by doctors on duty. On to sports, there was no voting Congress of the Jamaica Football Federation yesterday, and after hearing a complaint by the Beach Soccer Association at Supreme Court on Friday, the judge issued an interim stay on the elections. Beach Soccer Association brought the case to court after being rejected twice by the JFF board after seeking to overturn the decision that banning them from being a member of the federation and so taking away their voting rights. And the hearing, presided over by Justice Andrea Thomas, lasted 90 minutes, and Justice Thomas ultimately decided that the elections be postponed. The injunction will be in effect for 28 days while the situation is investigated. And the exact thing we called for has now started to happen, as the Jamaica Football Federation President Michael Ricketts has confirmed that football world governing body FIFA has now gotten involved in the ongoing developments surrounding the JFF elections. Ricketts said that FIFA has requested all documentation surrounding the court-related matter, which has resulted in Sunday's election being postponed for at least 28 days. And Ricketts added that all the documents requested by FIFA have been forwarded to the organization, with the JFF awaiting a response. Teenage reggae boy sensation Duane Whisper Richards has completed his move to the English Premier League giants Chelsea. The six-time English Premier League and First Division champions announced that the move was official via its website on Friday. Richards also posted the move on his social media account. The 18-year-old Richards, who has 10 caps for the Reggae Boys, also scored his lone goal against Trinidad and Tobago in the CONCACAF Gold Cup last year, and he became the second youngest goal scorer in the competition with the strike while still at 17 years old. He now celebrated his 18th birthday in November. And don't forget that the best news and sports takes place on this here station. If you ever miss the news on this radio station, please go to YouTube, type in Jamaican Undiluted News, listen, like, share, and subscribe to keep it going. And that's news and sports on your favorite radio station. My name is Mikey Bones. I gone.